For my project, I created an endless terrain using procedural generation to create unique terrains with different heights that contain trees, grass, and water. The original plan was to create a third-person style game on top of the procedurally generated world. The project was first started using mesh generation, which later was found not to be the correct path to complete the project, as it is not as scalable as the Unity terrain object, which also deals better with amending the level of detail shown at different viewing distances. With the change in the approach to the project, the original plan of creating a survival game became impossible to achieve within the time available. The aim of the project was to answer the research question, how procedural generation is used to create levels. So the focus became purely on terrain generation, while making sure that this could be further developed in the future into the full survival game. At the start of the project, the player falls into the world placed at the edge of the terrain. As the player crosses the terrain, the performance is not affected. By pressing the number 1 key, you can change the camera view. This shows that the new terrains are generated one at a time, applying a unique height map, texturing, and the creation of trees, grass, and water. If all of this was generated in one go, then the gameplay would be interrupted. By generating it a bit at a time, the demand on the processor at any point in time is much less, allowing the gameplay to continue with no noticeable drop in performance. The game can be paused by pressing the escape key. This gives options for the game to be resumed, for a new game to be played, generating all new terrains to be explored, or the game can be quit. When loading a new game, a loading screen is used, or the project generates new terrains in the background. Once generated, the player will spawn into the new generated terrains. By switching to the second camera, you can see the player is now in a new grid of terrains. As you explore the world, trees are generated at different heights following their own unique set of generation rules. The designed logic behind doing this is to give the terrain a more natural feel at different heights. For example, the conifer trees are generated near the top of hills and near mountains. This is because typically taller, thinner trees are found at higher altitudes. Broadleaf trees are generated in larger groups to create small forests across the terrain, and palm trees are designed to be generated at lower levels of terrain near beaches and water. As you can see by switching to the second camera, several terrains have been generated while exploring. The generation of terrains has not affected the performance of the game, allowing the player to explore with no delays due to terrain generation. Because terrain objects have been used, even with a large number of terrain tiles being created, the scalability of the terrain objects means the performance is maintained, justifying the decision to switch from meshes.